Welcome to your Brett for Today channel. I am Tonisha, and I am back again with the beautiful Ain Muccular.
Here.
Happy and excited for her to be here with us today. We're going to talk a little bit about plans, about trust and faith and all of these things.
The plans I have for you.
Right, exactly. Good. Expect it in, all of that. So you guys know, and if you don't, go check out my latest disappointment video. So I was talking through how I was laid off from my job. It'll be a year, like February 23rd, so a year has passed. And I was just talking through like the disappointment I felt with that whole process because it didn't go as I planned, right? Like I had planned to like transition out of my job and do all the things, right? Take all the necessary steps that I as a planner would take to secure my future. But God was like, nope, we finna just lay you off. And so that's what happened. And so I had to kind of recover from that. But in the video, I just talk about how I had just been sitting with a lot of disappointment, a lot of resentment, a lot of emotions and feelings. But Ain was one of the people who we have been talking about, you know, just our journey as mothers, as wives, as people who exist in this world who don't necessarily want to do it the traditional way. And so she has recently left her job, and I'm gonna let her talk about that a little bit. But I say that to say, her response to my video was like a shock.
I was floored.
And I don't understand why, because we had talked about it, right? We had talked about us both leaving, and I had been very heavily encouraging her to make the transition out of her job.
Your exact words were, don't call me complaining about this job ever again. Either quit or don't say nothing else.
Exactly. That is so true. And I encourage, you know, people who are in the position, and that has a lot to do too with perspective, and we're going to talk about that, right? Like the outside looking in, what I could see of her life, and so what I could encourage, right? But for me, obviously, I know my own life, and so I'm like, I need some things to be in place to do X, Y, and Z. That didn't have to be the case because, as I said, I survived, we're still here, life is good. So just tell me a little bit about your response to that, first of all.
I would have thought that if you got the news that you got laid off, now we're gonna go pop champagne. This is fantastic. Like, because in the industry that I'm coming out of, healthcare, if you are laid off, you get a severance package. It might last you for 30 days. It might be 6 months. It depends on, you know, your position, what your salary was, why you were laid off, whatever the case may be. And so for me, I'm praying like for the last 2-3 years, like, please let my name be on the roll. Like, please put me in the layoff list. I will gladly take whatever package y'all give me and go do something else, anything else. And so, you know, for it to be a disappointment for you to be laid off in that way, I'm like, well, it's gotta be just because this is not the way that you wanted it to go. Like, that was not your plan. You intended to not be working for anyone or not be employed by somebody else in that way. You know, and this gives you your time to live the life that you want. But because it didn't come in a particular vehicle, there's a disappointment. But shoot, I'm like, yay, fantastic.
We
made it. We are free.
Yeah. I thought I had more time. I think that's just what it was. More time to get my ducks in a row. And I'm finding that
one of them ducks is a chicken.
Right, exactly.
It doesn't even matter.
Exactly. It doesn't matter, right? You can make all the plans you want to make, and your life is going to turn out how you want it to turn out. So now that so tell me about your process of leaving, of transitioning out, what you wanted that to be.
Well, I mean, on bad days, I'm like, I'm quitting today. I don't care. I don't care that we have bills and
exactly. There you go.
need to like pay them. I want to quit. I don't care. We can live out of a cardboard box if we need to.
Right.
I can't take the stress of this. And then on good days, I'm like, oh, Maybe I'm impacting people here. Maybe I'm here for a reason. I'll stay for another 6 months, whatever. We can save some more money. We can do whatever we need to do. And it came to a point where my husband's needs in the business that he has and my children, because I had a whole nother extra kid that we didn't plan for. Her needs, and then my 2 older girls' needs in school were overwhelming me, and I wasn't doing anything well. So I'm spread too thin. I'm not parenting well, in my opinion. I'm not helping with this household business, which could skyrocket, which could do so much better, which could bring in way more income if I could give some time to it. And then at work, at my formal job, I suck. Like, there's not a call that I'm on where I'm not holding the baby. She's crying in the background. I'm trying to train people. I'm on calls. I'm doing things at work halfway. I'm not doing a good job at my job. I'm just kind of winging that. And I'm like, this is stressful for me. I'm not eating well. I'm not sleeping at all. Something has to change. Yeah. And the one thing that I know I'm going to do eventually is quit this job. So the benefit to quitting and then pouring into what we're building at home, the benefit of that outweighed staying at the job and being overworked and underpaid another year. So we set a date. Savings was a factor too. We had been saving, not with a particular date in mind.
That is a factor.
Saving to at least be able to, survive if everything went wrong. All of this is a risk. All of this is a gamble. But we saved enough to not have to live in a cardboard box.
Right.
And I gave my notice to my job for the top of the year to say, hey, I'm walking away. And I'm going to take a risk and bet on myself. Bet on, the business that my husband's already built. Help him. Because I know that the skills that I have and what I have been given to this company, I could certainly parlay that into what I'm doing for my own last name and grow that. So that was the plan. We executed the plan to a certain degree. We just kind of said we were going to do it and then just kind of fell into it. At least we had to set the intention to say we're going to do this thing. When exactly we're going to do it, not sure. I think we said for sure we were going to move to me quitting my job, I want to say summer of 2024. And
that didn't happen.
That did not happen. Well, the first time was like March 2021.
Okay, I do remember that.
And March 21 came and went. Then I had a whole other child. And so that changes everything. Yeah. That changes your whole financial scope. So in the summer of 24, we said for sure you're going to come off of your job by the end of the year.
And it worked out.
Yeah, kind of. In November, we were like, okay, so December then. My husband's like, well, maybe. But
were there any fears associated with that? So because I think that, so when I got I knew I was gonna get laid off before I got laid off. Like I said, I was on leave already. So my plan was parlay these benefits to my, the best of my benefit. And then obviously I got a severance package and everything. And so I knew I had bought myself a little bit more time, but there wasn't the same business to,
there's something, I guess there's something to fall back on. I have faith, right? That things are going to work out. I know that God gave my husband this thing, this idea that he had, this business that he built, and it was doing good. It's doing good. It could do so much better. It needs me, and I'm not saying that like in a cocky way.
Yes,
like
yes,
there's
for sure.
a certain like
Skill
feminine skill set. Anyway, all of that.
Yes.
So I know that that's there. So my fear was not in, girl, are you crazy? You about to quit your job in this economy? Are you an idiot? Every household needs two, 3 incomes. There's no way that you're gonna survive. You have 3 children. What are you doing? That wasn't actually my fear. My fear was, am I doing this in the wrong time? Am I trying to jump out the window and do something like ahead of God? Like there's always this, am I really hearing God? And I know in my life, all of the good things that I have come into have kind of happened without me forcing it at all. When I start to feel like I'm forcing something or I'm trying to make something fit, it never works out right. But when things just fall into place and I don't even have to really do anything but say, this is what I want, and then it just kind of happens, that's when I know, for me, that's when I know that it is God and it's ordained and I'm good. My fear was, well, dang, like, am I leaving any money on the table? Like, maybe I should have not come back from maternity leave so soon. Maybe I should have, like, called the lady and cried.
A little bit more.
Went out on another leave. Did I take all that money? Like, did I leave anything on the table? Well, what time of the year is this? Like, am I doing this at the right time? Should I take any money out of like my retirement account? Like, what should I do? Let me make sure that I'm doing this in the best way possible. On top of the fact that after COVID, people stopped taking time off of work.
Yeah.
I managed at the time that I left 17 people. Nobody was taking their PTO. I had 2 weeks of PTO that I left on the table. And that, I think, is what wears on me the most. And I'm like, I waited until, I almost didn't even have any time available in the year that I could take. So meaning I had all this time that was owed to me from the company, but literally the year was running out and I hadn't taken the time off.
Yeah.
Sidebar, these companies that give you unlimited PTO, take it.
Yes.
They expect for you not to take it.
Yes.
They know you're not going to take it. You never, when you're at a certain position and you're working from home, they know you're not really going to take that time. We're so ingrained to only take time if you're sick or if you need it. Take time to sit on the couch, to not do anything.
I mean, and I would tell her that all the time. Take your time, girl. Like, listen, I be taking my time, okay? Because these people, these jobs, they don't care about you. They don't love you. They will replace you. She's been in a position to replace people.
I was there for 15 years. And
oh, wow.
Really should have taken more time. So also there was that, I'm like, well, I haven't taken all my PTO. Like, I want to take advantage of this setup as much as possible.
Yes.
So my fear was like, man, I'm doing something stupid. Like, I'm not taking all my time. I'm not taking all my money. And then at a certain point, I was like, my hope is not in this job or this system.
Exactly.
What I need and what I want and what's best for me is not going to have to come out of feeling like I done beat the system. Like I got all my time and I got free money out of them. And it didn't matter at a certain point. Like my peace of mind and being able to say, hey, I'm leaving because of X, Y, and Z. You all need to improve in these areas.
Yeah.
Here's my date.
Right.
Y'all be blessed. That was more satisfying to me than being like, okay, well, I was able to get everything out of this.
Yeah, for sure.
Financially that I could. So, and again, it all worked out.
And it always does. That's the thing.
If you're quitting your job, do it in the new year. Do it at the top of the new year.
Why
especially
is that?
if you're going to take any money out. So, this is not like a financial advice
No.
video, but if you are going to dip into any savings accounts like 401ks or anything like that, do that at the top of the year. Don't do that at the end of a year going into another year because it counts as income. So you're going to have to do your taxes. So do it at the top of the next year so that you don't have to worry about it for a whole nother year.
Yeah. I mean, and I think that that's good because we, like I said, we can make our plans but things go the way that they do. Similarly, all the employment that I've gotten, I literally have never gotten a job that I've interviewed for.
That's wild.
But all the jobs that I've gotten literally have been, I know Tonisha, and she'll be great for you, and it's just kind of like falling into my lap in the same way. And so my challenge was then to continue to trust in that, okay, I know how my life has played out thus far. I know the things that we want to accomplish as a family. I know that, you know, God knows the desires of my heart and has given me those desires, you know? And so I have to, it was just a reconciling, right? A reconciling of, and a test of the thing that I said, right? Like, I know that I haven't had to strive, so.
Do you ever feel guilty about that?
What'd you say?
I don't want to mess up your stream of thought.
No, go ahead.
Do you ever feel guilty about being handed something or something falling in your lap? Or something just working out?
No, because that's literally my thought process as a child of God. Like, I feel like we are superheroes, but I don't think that we should be striving for anything because we don't, like I said in the video, you can't create a day, right? So because you have no control over that, you don't know whether it's going to rain, whether it's going to, you know what I'm saying? You have no control over the weather. You have no control over anything. You can't make the sun rise. You can't make the earth turn. So it is literally my expectation that things just happen for me.
That is so liberating.
Hey y'all, Tonisha here. Thanks so much for joining us for part 1 of our Leaps of Faith conversation. I hope you found some bread in there and some encouragement to take your own leap of faith. Be sure to join us for part 2 coming out soon, and make sure you like, share, and subscribe to the channel. Peace.